What if you could turn 250 million into a garage more valuable than some art museums? Manny Khoshbin did just that, building an empire from scratch and filling it with one-of-a-kind hypercars, priceless Porsches, and Bugattis no billionaire can duplicate. Today, you're getting the ultimate insider's tour. Tesla Model XWE start not with a hypercar, but with Manny's most grounded choice, the 2019 Tesla Model X. To most viewers, this is the only car in his garage they might actually see on the road. For Manny, though, it's more than a vehicle. It's his family companion. With its futuristic falcon wing doors and electric soul, it represents balance. Despite owning some of the rarest cars in the world, he chooses the Tesla to drive his wife and kids daily. It's a reminder that even billion-dollar dreams need practicality. The Model X also anchors Manny's garage in the present. This is the car of today, an everyday chariot amidst legends. In many ways, it keeps him grounded. He could choose a Bugatti or Rolls-Royce for the school run, but instead, he selects silence, sustainability, and comfort. This contrast between simplicity and extravagance gives depth to his collection. For audiences, it sets the stage perfectly. 2023, Porsche 911 Sport Classic. The Porsche 911 Sport Classic is where Manny's nostalgia meets modern engineering. Only 250 units exist, but even among them, his car stands out as a love letter to Porsche's golden age. The ducktail spoiler, the heritage stripes, the retro-styled wheels, all echo back to the 1970s, when the 911 first captured the imagination of enthusiasts worldwide. For Manny, this isn't just a car, it's a bridge between the boy who once dreamed and the man who can now buy those dreams. 2023, Porsche Cayman GT4 RS. The GT4 RS is raw, unfiltered adrenaline. For Manny, the 2023 Porsche Cayman GT4 RS was less about rarity and more about pure driving. The naturally aspirated flat-six screams to 9,000 RPM, a sound Manny often describes as addictive, a car that forces even seasoned collectors to remember. 19. Porsche 935. The 2019 Porsche 935 is not just a car, it's a ghost reborn. Only 77 were built, each one a tribute to Porsche's legendary race cars of the 1970s. Manny's 935, with its extended bodywork, massive rear wing, and Martini-inspired soul, feels less like a road car and more like a sculpture that just happens to move. The 935 embodies scarcity. Collectors will fight to own one, and Manny knows its value will only rise with time. Yet, beyond the numbers, it's a reminder of Porsche's fearless spirit, the willingness to build something outrageous simply because they could. For audiences, it's awe-inspiring. The 935 proves Manny's garage isn't about vanity. It's about legacy. He's not just preserving wealth, he's curating history. When you stand before the 935, you feel both small and privileged, as though Porsche allowed you to glimpse a secret meant for the chosen few. 2023 Porsche 911. Dakar at first glance. The Porsche 911 Dakar looks almost playful. With its raised suspension, rally-inspired stance, and roof rack ready for adventure, it seems like a toy among the polished exotics in Manny's garage. But that's exactly why he loves it. The Dakar isn't about being serious, it's about reminding us that cars can be fun. For Manny, the Dakar balances his garage. Among machines worth millions, designed for precision and perfection, here sits a Porsche that invites imperfection. Mud splashes, gravel roads, desert dunes. It tells viewers that collecting isn't only about rarity, it's also about spirit. Watching Manny with the Dakar, you sense his playful side emerge. He becomes less the mogul and more the dreamer, imagining adventures beyond city streets. In a collection built on exclusivity, the Dakar proves that sometimes the rarest luxury is simply joy. Mercedes-AMG G63 RS. Squared if. There's one car in Manny's garage that makes people laugh in disbelief. It's the Mercedes-AMG G63 RS squared. Standing taller than most SUVs and looking like it could crush a sports car without noticing, this machine is a spectacle of engineering excess. With its portal axles, massive ground clearance, and sheer road presence, it feels more like a tank wearing a tuxedo. For Manny, the G63 RS squared represents unapologetic boldness. It doesn't whisper luxury, it shouts it. Driving this through the streets of Newport Beach, he knows heads will turn. Not because it's sleek, but because it's absurdly huge. It's a reminder that sometimes luxury is about scale as much as sophistication. For audiences, it humanizes Manny's collection. Amid the million-dollar Bugattis, here's a car that feels like a giant toy, chosen simply because it makes him smile. 2021. Porsche 911 Targa 4S Heritage Edition. Among Manny's modern machines sits a Porsche that feels like a time capsule, the 2021 Porsche 911 Targa 4S Heritage Edition. Limited to just 992 units, it blends retro cues with modern precision. The gold badges, classic paint tones, and iconic Targa bar harken back to the golden era of Porsche, while underneath, it's pure 21st century performance. For Manny, this car carries personal weight. His model bears the number 33, which he considers his lucky number. In a garage where rarity and value often drive decisions, this Targa represents something deeper: fate. Owning a car tied to personal meaning makes it more than an investment. It becomes part of his story. To the audience, this car whispers a truth: success is sweeter when it connects back to your roots. For Manny, this Porsche isn't just heritage, it's destiny on four wheels. 2023. Porsche 992 GT3 RS Tribute Edition. The 2023 Porsche 992 GT3 RS Tribute Edition looks less like a car and more like a fighter jet disguised in carbon fiber. Its massive swan neck wing dominates the rear view, making it one of the most aggressive Porsches ever built. For Manny, this car represents obsession, the kind of obsession only true enthusiasts understand. What drew him most was not just performance, but design. That wing is not decoration, it's function, delivering downforce that pins the car to the tarmac. And yet, in Manny's hands, it becomes something symbolic. It represents elevation, the idea that he, too, has lifted off from humble beginnings into rarefied air. For audiences, the GT3 RS Tribute Edition feels like a statement. Success is not just about arriving, but about constantly raising your own wings higher. Manny doesn't just collect cars, he collects metaphors for his life. Bugatti Bolide, then comes the Bugatti Bolide, the car that looks like it was designed for another planet. This isn't a car you drive to dinner. It's a car that redefines what's possible. Powered by Bugatti's legendary W16 engine, tuned to over 1,800 horsepower. The Bolide is so extreme it barely qualifies as a car. It's more like controlled chaos sculpted in carbon fiber. For Manny, the Bolide sits at the absolute peak of his collection. He admits it's not practical, not even remotely usable on public roads, yet that's exactly why it's special. It's the ultimate flex, but also the ultimate dream. Few humans will ever see one, fewer still will own one. To the audience, the Bolide is awe in its purest form. Mercedes-AMG GT Black Series P1 Edition. The Mercedes-AMG GT Black Series P1 Edition is not a car you can simply buy, it's one you have to be chosen for. Limited only to Mercedes-AMG Project 1 buyers, this car is a gateway, a key into one of the rarest automotive clubs on Earth. For Manny, who already stands among the few able to access Bugattis and Paganis, the Black Series P1 Edition still feels special. Its exclusivity layered on exclusivity. The car itself is vicious. Its V8 bi-turbo engine pushes the limits of what a track-focused road car can do. The aggressive aerodynamics, wide stance, and orange livery scream danger and beauty all at once. But beyond performance, this AMG represents belonging. Manny isn't just wealthy. He's part of the inner circle of automotive royalty, trusted to own a machine only granted to a handful. McLaren SLR HDK IF. There's one car Manny can't stop collecting. It's the McLaren Mercedes SLR. But among his 9 examples, the SLR HDK high downforce kit stands tallest. This is no ordinary supercar. It's a reimagined icon, upgraded with a wide body, track aero, and an attitude that makes it feel like a modern beast wearing vintage skin. For Manny, the SLR isn't just a car. It's an obsession. He bought them when others dismissed them as outdated, trusting his instinct that they would rise in value. He was right. Now, the SLR is a collector's gem, and the HDK is the rarest flavor of all. Every curve tells a story of vision, of a man who saw opportunity where others saw risk. To viewers, the SLR HDK is both intimidating and inspiring. It's not just about owning many, it's about daring to hold on when the world moves away. For Manny, it's proof that passion, patience, and vision create empires. Rolls-Royce Phantom Drophead Coupe among the wild Bugattis and track-ready Porsches. The Rolls-Royce Phantom Drophead Coupe feels like a deep breath. This is luxury in its purest, most unhurried form, a car designed not to race but to glide. With its handcrafted wood deck, soft leather, and presence that commands silence, the Drophead is less transportation and more an experience. For Manny, the Phantom Drophead symbolizes balance. His life is filled with speed, competition, and ambition, but when he steps into this car, the world slows down. He calls it his yacht on wheels, a machine that doesn't chase time but creates it. In many ways, it reflects his journey. After decades of hustling, there must also be moments to savor. For viewers, the Phantom Drophead reveals the other side of success. Money can buy you horsepower, but true wealth is measured in peace. And in Manny's garage, this Rolls-Royce is his reminder to simply breathe. 22 Ford GT Heritage Edition. The 2022 Ford GT Heritage Edition is where nostalgia and investment collide. Painted in the famous Gulf livery, it pays tribute to the GT40 that conquered Le Mans in the 1960s. For Manny, this isn't just a car, it's a slice of racing history dressed in modern carbon fiber. Yet, unlike many of his passion purchases, Manny approaches this GT with a sharp investor's mind. He's already said it's a car he plans to sell in the future, knowing its value will soar as production numbers remain low. In a sense, this Ford represents strategy, a reminder that even in a passion-filled garage, business instincts never sleep. For audiences, the Ford GT Heritage Edition offers a rare glimpse into the duality of Manny's garage. It's passion wrapped in profit, emotion fused with foresight. To him, it's both a collectible and a chess move, and that makes it one of the most fascinating cars in his collection. 2014 McLaren P1. The 2014 McLaren P1 is one of Manny Khoshbin's crown jewels, representing both cutting-edge technology and personal evolution. Originally finished in diamond white with a $37,000 paint option, Manny later cycled through several color combinations before finally settling on a satin black body with exposed carbon fiber. This final transformation gave the P1 a menacing, almost stealth fighter aura, making it look more like a weapon than a car. With its hybrid powertrain producing 903 horsepower, the P1 was already a groundbreaking machine, but for Manny it became something deeper. It isn't just another hypercar in his garage, it's the one he chooses when he wants a pure, exhilarating joyride. The car reflects his philosophy of refinement, proving that perfection is never found instantly, but crafted patiently over time. 5. Saleen S7 TT. The 2005 Saleen S7 twin-turbo competition package embodies raw American muscle wrapped in futuristic design. Manny's S7 is especially unique, one of one, delivering an astonishing 1,100 horsepower with fewer than 720 miles ever driven. Built with carbon fiber construction and aggressive aerodynamics, it looks like something designed for both the racetrack and outer space. Manny once considered selling the car for $850,000, but ultimately couldn't let it go, recognizing its irreplaceable value. While most of his collection leans heavily on European hypercars, the S7 stands out as proof that America can produce machines as exotic and formidable as any Bugatti or McLaren. Even nearly 2 decades after its debut, the Saleen S7 TT still feels futuristic, securing its place in Manny's garage as a bold and timeless legend. 6. Bugatti Veyron. The 2006 Bugatti Veyron is often described as the car that redefined speed, luxury, and what was mechanically possible in the modern era. Manny's example, finished in a striking white and blue combination, is as elegant as it is ferocious. With a quad-turbocharged W16 engine producing 1,001 horsepower, the Veyron shattered records and became the first production car to break the 250 mph barrier, a feat many thought impossible. Beyond the statistics, Manny treasures this car as a milestone in engineering brilliance, a bridge between traditional craftsmanship and futuristic performance. Though he has hinted at letting it go for around $1.5 million, the Veyron remains a centerpiece of his empire, blending investment value with timeless allure, reminding him of the era when hypercars truly entered another league. 14. Bugatti Veyron Rembrandt Edition. The 2014 Bugatti Veyron Rembrandt Edition isn't just rare, it's practically untouchable. One of only 3 ever created, Manny's ownership of this masterpiece places him in an exclusive club few could ever dream of joining. The car's exterior features a bronze finish that gleams like a piece of jewelry. While subtle elephant motifs and handcrafted detailing pay homage to Rembrandt Bugatti, Ettore Bugatti's sculptor brother. With a $3 million price tag when new, it's now virtually priceless, not only because of its rarity, but also because of the artistic story woven into its design. Manny himself calls it one of the few cars he would never sell. To him, this Veyron is not merely transportation, it's a rolling sculpture, a roaring expression of timeless beauty. 2016 Pagani Huayra Hermes edition, only 106. McLaren Speedtails were ever created. But Manny's Hermes edition stood apart as a one-of-one masterpiece. This wasn't just a hypercar, it was a vision that cost an additional $1 million in Hermes customization. Draped in an elegant abyss blue, the car radiated exclusivity, with Hermes-etched details woven into its design and a cabin that blurred the line between high fashion and extreme performance. The Speedtails' teardrop silhouette could reach speeds of over 250 mph, yet Manny's version turned heads just by standing still. It embodied wearable art on wheels, a perfect marriage of engineering brilliance and couture craftsmanship. Though he later sold it to a Japanese collector, the car remains a defining highlight of his journey, a bold symbol of taste, influence, and one man's power to create the extraordinary. 2020 Bugatti Chiron Hermes Edition. Finally, the 2020 Bugatti Chiron Hermes Edition, Manny's ultimate masterpiece. This isn't just a car, it's the crown jewel of his collection, finished in a bespoke shade of cray, a soft and elegant off-white. The Chiron carries the unmistakable touch of Hermes with intricate horse motifs etched into its design. Priced at over $4 million, the car took nearly 5 years to complete, with Manny working hand-in-hand with both Bugatti and Hermes to perfect every detail. From custom grills to luxurious interior stitched in Hermes leather, no corner was left untouched. Manny himself calls it his best art form car, a rolling sculpture that fuses engineering and haute couture. To him, the Chiron Hermes Edition represents patience, vision, and the ultimate expression of automotive art. And that's Manny Khoshbin's car empire. From American muscle to French hypercars, from family Teslas to Hermes masterpieces. Each one isn't just a machine, it's a piece of his story. If you enjoyed this tour inside one of the world's most insane garages, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, because more legendary collections are on the way.